And elsewhere, with this year's state budget barely put to bed, the Assembly Budget Committee today got an early outline of the $10.5 billion structural deficit facing New Jersey in the next budget cycle. 30% of that, or $3.5 billion, is what the state should contribute next fiscal year into the public worker pension system. So as senior political correspondent Michael Aaron reports, there was a lot of talk about pension contributions and cutbacks at today's Assembly Budget Committee hearing.
Governor Christie has been taking credit for closing an $11 billion structural deficit without raising taxes in the budget he recently signed. Budget Chairman Lou Greenwald said today the governor accomplished that in large part by not meeting certain obligations, like a $3 billion payment into the pension system. The governor's budget, approved by the legislature, put nothing in for fiscal year 2011.
What I'm concerned about is that there's been such hoopla that we cut $11 billion last year by the failure to make $3.1 billion of it was the elimination of making a pension payment, which adds to the structural deficit.
Greenwald said that this year's zero contribution wipes out any savings from last March's pension reform law that both parties supported. His comments came at a hearing where Budget Committee members heard from Office of Legislative Services Budget Director David Rosen that the structural deficit for fiscal 2012 looks to be $10.5 billion, so Christie will have to do it again unless the economy takes off.
There are some hopeful signs out there, and there's some scary signs out there in the economy.
The governor said on national television last week that another round of pension reform is coming this fall. The talk is of trimming the pensions of current workers or even current retirees. Greenwald said today he can't support that unless the state pays into the system in the next budget.
You must make that payment. And if you don't make that payment, you're putting the retirees in jeopardy. And quite frankly, whatever reforms you discussed really are somewhat meaningless because you've lost the benefit of those reforms without making the payment.